All right, friends, before you go shopping this week at your grocery stores, we have a number of alerts coming down the pike. We got warnings on chicken. We got warnings on beef. We got warnings on different types of citrus. We got a whole bunch of issues that you're going to want to be aware of before you go shopping this week, because there are certain crops that are having a bit of an issue. Lettuce is having an issue. We got a lot to talk about. This is going to be from the industry standard, Cisco. They produce a lot. I mean, they move a lot of food from farms to the grocery stores, to businesses and supply companies. So this will tell you what is going on. Without further ado, let's jump into what Cisco has to say is in shortage and what they're having problems sourcing. All right, this is Cisco's Market Corner. They put out this report weekly about what's going on out there in the marketplace, what they're having issues getting to their stores, to their restaurants, to their places like senior homes, hospitals. They produce supply food for a lot of these different places. This is what they're having trouble getting. Chicken. As hatchability of eggs remains an issue, we continue to see supply shortages, especially on wings and tenders. Breast demand has started to level off. So chicken breasts are going to get a little bit better off out there, but wing demands continues to be strong. Tenders demand is very strong and remain hardest offering to find. So tenders are really hard to find, folks. Dark meat demand remains very good. Whole birds are mostly steady. Good news on pork, though. Butts will start to trend downward now that we have passed the Memorial Day holiday. Ribs are holding relatively flat as demand is steady and supplies are steady as well. Boneless loins are holding strong due to exports. Bellies are starting to come down in price, but will be short-lived as the market is expected to rise. So bacon prices, expect bacon prices to be down just a little bit for a little bit. Beef, cattle placements were lower than a year ago, so basically they're not slaughtering as many cattle this year. So this year versus last year, there's less beef going into the market. Be aware of that. And the lowest so far this year, so it's continuing to drop. So placements, or AKA butcherings, they are not butchering as much beef as they were earlier this year or compared to last year. Placements across all groups. Critical number will impact the expectations for supply later this year. So expect beef supplies to continue to tighten up. That's what Cisco's saying, and they have a whole separate section there just to kind of warn us about that. Beef. Reduced harvest continues to limit transactions. Ribs, strips, and top butts continue to drift higher price-wise, right? Due to solid demand. Tender prices remain steady as consumers shy away from higher price cuts. So you may actually find some deals on higher price cuts. If you want something fancy to put in the freezer, you might find a deal or a bargain on stuff getting marked down because people are not wanting to buy at the higher prices, okay? Insides, chucks, and grinds continue to support each other. Limited trimmings are facilitating the use of these cuts into grinds. So there you have it. Dairy. Dairy and eggs. Shell egg markets are up. So friends, egg markets up. So expect those prices to be rising. We talked about this on this channel already. You heard it here before Cisco is reporting it, right? 4.2 million egg layers farm in the Midwest. That was actually out in Illinois. Was contracted the H5N1 virus. And that is the total number of hens lost this month to 7.4 million. I'm sorry, there's a fire out in Illinois. The culling actually took place, what was that, Minnesota? So we had a farm, and then we also had the fire that took out another 1 million hens, and then we also had cullings down in Texas, I think, and elsewhere, right? We also see that Block and Barrel, which is Cisco's like brand cheese and stuff like that, and like lunch meat, decreasing cheese production schedules are steady to stronger throughout the U.S. U.S. butter is up, cream is tightening. Grains and oils. We've been talking about this a good bit. Large funds are buying soybean oil stocks. So the soybean oil stocks are down. The wet weather in the U.S. growing region aided in the futures market for soybean oil moving higher. Canola moving higher with possibility of a rail strike and wet weather there too. Now, I hadn't heard yet about a rail strike, so we'll be diving into that on separate videos this week as we look at it. Palm oil, which a lot of it comes from Indonesia, was slightly lower with good production, so things are looking good in Indonesia. Exports, though, are looking to increase. Seafood, we continue to have issues with lobster tails, but the supply is improving and prices are starting to come down. Markets are steady week over week on seafood. Seafood sector is gearing up for big holidays going into summer, and operators are revamping summer menus. We do want to thank our sponsor before we dive into the fruits and vegetables, Genesis Gold Group. If you want to get some questions answered, there's no obligations. If you give them a call, they'd be happy to answer some of your questions about what it would look like to get your IRA or 401k over into gold, silver, or platinum physical metals in your retirement account. If you want to find out what that would look like, just give them a call. Make sure you mention this channel if you do move forward with them, because you will want the discount that you get because you are a viewer of this channel. All right, friends, on to melons. Cantaloupe demand exceeds with subsizing requests at time of loading as cooler weather has affected growth pattern. So we're having different sizes of melons are being sold at different rates. Quality is improving, relief expected in 10 days. Honeydews are experiencing the same with limited volume and fair quality. So if you see any issues with cantaloupes or with other melons, be aware that they are expecting that to be very short-lived. Just wait a few days and you might be able to find what you're looking for. Pineapples. Sizing continues to be shifted to smaller sizes. 5CT will be very tight for the next couple of weeks with more 7CT available. Okay, so basically what you're seeing is that pineapples, the smaller ones, are a lot more, you can get them a lot easier than the bigger size ones. So if you're having trouble getting pineapples, just look for the smaller ones, okay? No real peak expected this summer. So that is going to be a lot less pineapples out there overall, though. Eggplant, East. Green bell supply is better. Quality is good and market is weaker. So all of you guys are out there getting eggplants all the time, I'm sure. But let's talk down here about lettuce. Iceberg lettuce. Obviously, that's something that a lot of people are getting. Market active and remains elevated, so prices are up significantly. We have crops continue to be behind due to the cold and windy weather. Ground temperatures are below normal and crops are just not growing. Demand is exceeding supply, so friends, be aware that iceberg lettuce is going to be in short supply for the next few weeks. They are hoping that will turn around in a little bit. Iceberg lettuce grows quite quickly, as with other lettuces as well. But if you can't find iceberg lettuce, look for spring mixes and stuff like that, because those are doing better. All right, let's hop over to asparagus. Western demand is good and supplies are improving, as is Peruvian imports. So they are getting imports in for asparagus, and things are getting better on that front. Avocado, prices are expected to rise this week with steady increases throughout the month of June. So expect avocado prices to continue going up. That's what they're saying, right? Harvests are lighter and packers are chasing fruit, driving field prices higher in Mexico. So if you want avocados, grab them now while you can, because prices are just going to go up. This is not short-lived. This is going to be through the end of the month at the very least. Broccoli. Market is a little softer as supplies are adequate and meeting demand. Citrus. Big alerts on citrus. Lemons. We got mostly large. Lemons are having issues, and small 140s. and smaller, very supplied, very short supply, right? The lemon market will continue to be tight throughout the summer, mostly May and June, or until the relief of imports. So imports will be on their way, so if you can hold off on those lemons. Oranges. Navels begin to wrap up for the season. Most of the volume on 88s and smaller are Valencia oranges. Export navel season is finished. Smaller sizes are better supplied, so look for the smaller ones as the demand of schools has decreased. So big oranges, hard to find. Little ones, a little bit easier. Limes. Overall lack of rain and high temperatures will affect sizing and quality shelf life. The trees are stressed, so limes out there not looking great either. Friends, let us know what you guys are seeing at your stores. So we got the Cisco telling us what's going on with the supply chain, but let us know what you're seeing at your stores. You can post those updates on this video or any video on this channel. Just make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. All right, cabbage. We got red pricing elevated as supplies are expected to be tight for the next couple of weeks. Supplies in good quality on green, that the market is mostly steady. So switch over to green if you're having trouble getting red. Cauliflower, the market is a bit softer on good supplies with moderate demand. Celery, supplies remain snug and market remains firm. We do not anticipate any significant relief until Salinas starts up in June. So until we get what Salinas is California, I think, right? Onions, supplies are improving on all colors in New Mexico. California is seeing steady availability as we near the start of the transition from south to central. Quality is good, prices are lower. So we've been having issues with onions out there, but we have movement in the right direction with onions. So you should be seeing more availability out there if you've been having issues with getting onions or getting good quality onions. Bell peppers, east. Green bell supply better. Quality is good and market is weaker. So less people wanting them and there's more supply coming in on bell peppers. Red and yellow bells are in short supply. So if you want your red and yellow and you're willing to switch over to green, that will be better for you. West, green pepper supplies will decline. The market is higher with good demand. Color pepper market is mostly higher. Quality is improving. All right, let's move on to our potatoes here. Russets, supplies are very light on 40 to 50 CT from most suppliers. 90 to 120 CT are plentiful. So small potatoes are plentiful, but they're having trouble with the big potatoes. Demand is following supply according. Tomatoes, Roma, cherry, and grape markets are starting weak to flat due to Florida volume. We got Georgia starting in a small way and still plenty of small fruit coming out of Mexico. Squash, east. Both squash are in short supply. Quality is good. And markets are very high price-wise, right? Now, new growing areas will start to pop up. West, demand is exceeding supply due to unusually cool spring weather. Shortages expected in both zucchini and yellow squash, which is expected to improve by weekend and when the weather warms up. All right, cilantro. Tight supply continues and cilantro market is firm. Some of you guys are really crying and some of you guys are absolutely not crying. I know cilantro is a controversial one, right? Corn. In the east, we got supply and good quality, good and market low. So people don't want corn as much as there is. West, seeing predominantly white color corn with lesser supplies of yellow and even less bicolor. So issues out west. Grapes, all quality is good. Tiered market, California is top, Mexico middle. Remaining Chile products from Chile, right, lower. Market will level out as inventories clear. Lettuce, romaine. Production is steady, like I was saying before, and the quality is good. Markets remain elevated. to a bit lower, and demand remains strong. Heart market is higher on all packs. So we're having issues with the iceberg lettuce, but romaine is a little bit better out there. All right, this is kind of what we're seeing out there that we wanted to talk about. Sorry, the 4.2 million is in Iowa, and before that was Minnesota, and then we had the 1.2 million that died in the fire in Illinois. So as you can see, we got a lot less egg layers out there, and that's all commercial egg layers, right? Not meat birds. We got some turkey meat birds, but you know, those are chump change. We're really talking about these big numbers coming out there for eggs. Why is it just that the egg layers are getting bird flu? That's a good question. Somebody should ask the federal government. This is from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's website. So those are the latest numbers that we're seeing out there. We will keep an eye on that going forward. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group, you can either call the phone number that we saw earlier in the video, or there's a link right there on the screen that you can tap, fill out your information, and they'll contact you. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up on the screen. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.